Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Margaret Maye. I am a mother of a child with uncontrollable seizures, an activist and advocate for epilepsy. It is my pleasure to welcome you here today at the Seminar for Medical Nutrition Therapies for the Treatment of Epilepsy, Ketogenic Therapy in the 21st Century, Toronto 2010. On my long quest to find help for my son Thomas, I read and searched for months before I found out about ketogenic diet that caught my interest as a therapy offering hope for people with uncontrollable seizures. I wanted to learn more about it, and when I came upon information about the upcoming first international conference for dietary treatments for epilepsy in Arizona in April 2008, organized by the Charlie Foundation, I did not hesitate and signed up. I have to admit that all-day-long sessions of the 4-day conference and scientific terminology often caused my head to spin. But I absolutely loved it. I knew that I was at the right and the best possible place that I could be. So much so that when the next year, in 2009, the Ketogenic Forum in Arizona followed, I attended as well. I felt that such an informative and important event for building awareness of ketogenic diet is also very needed in Canada, where ketogenic diet is available in a few hospitals for children, but not for adults. Waiting lists for children are long. Dietitians work long hours. There is much to be done to have this seizure control, life-saving and life quality improving therapy available for all Canadians. To fulfill my duties as a president of Epilepsy Cure Initiative and to fulfill the mandate of our organization, which the main principle is the well-being of people with epilepsy, I felt that it would be very beneficial and important to bring this sort of seminar to Canada for our children and for people with epilepsy. We parents would like to see our children safe, free of seizures, included and respected, and given hope and the right to access to ketogenic diet treatment. Why not to offer it at the start of epilepsy? And if it's not effective, move on to next different options. Why should this diet be a last resort? These sort of questions I always ask myself. Over decades, seizure control abilities of this carefully designed food regime prove itself in treating this one of the most mysterious disorders. Our family was denied of this treatment about 2 years ago when we wanted to try it, because in Canada this treatment is not available for adults, like Thomas, who was then 20. In an earlier time of his epilepsy, in the course of his young life, whenever we inquired about the diet, we were discouraged from using it based on the opinion of medical professionals whom we approached. And we heard such opinions as that diet was too difficult to manage, extremely unpleasant, unpalatable, and outdated form of treatment. At this point, I'd like to read a quote to you from findings of a randomized controlled trial by Dr. Helen Cross and Dr. Elizabeth Neal. A recently published randomized controlled trial has shown the benefit of the ketogenic diet is equivalent to any of the new anticonvulsant medications, emphasizing the need for more resources to ensure greater diet availability. Approximately 50 million people worldwide have epilepsy, including 3 million Americans and 300,000 Canadians. About 1/3 of them will not respond to the available medications. Many of these medications are known to have damaging side effects. There is a great urgency to increase efforts in epilepsy research for cure and to advance new treatments without side effects. All people with drug-resistant epilepsy should be able to have access to the correct information, as well as should be offered different available options, so a properly informed decision can be made in choosing the best possible treatment. Ketogenic diets should be administered and supported by a trained team to include a neurologist and dietitian. We have great expectations about this seminar. The ketogenic diet therapies need to be made available to all Canadians of all ages, and we believe that this seminar is a step towards this goal. As you know, March is the Epilepsy Awareness Month in Canada. Epilepsy Cure Initiative celebrated it with organizing few significant events. On March 1st, an Epilepsy Awareness and Informative Day in the Provincial Parliament of Ontario, at which 14 different invited epilepsy organizations presented one strong voice for epilepsy. On March 25th, ECI initiated a resolution for a proclamation of March 26th as an official Epilepsy Awareness Day in the province of Ontario. As well, on March 25th, ECI also initiated a public petition asking for improvements in clinical health care for people with epilepsy by creating specialized epilepsy care centers. The creation of such centers was already proposed by Epilepsy Ontario and SACEC. We would kindly ask you to show your support and sign in the petition sheets that are displayed on our table right at the back. Thank you so much. I would like to call to the stage now Mrs. Susie Gingrich, a project manager for Ketogenic, with whom I collaborated very closely in organizing this event.